Hi, fellow citizens of the world. My name is Ruby. I live in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I recently decided that I wanted to start a YouTube channel. One of the big things that kind of pushed me towards this decision, whereas when I watched a video the other day by a YouTuber named Jocelyn Daher, and she's such a sweetheart, but she prompted her viewers to or she invited her viewers to participate in the global community of people that are connecting online and that are sharing their thoughts and beliefs. And it just felt really right for me to join the conversation and to add my voice to our global community. So I decided that I wanted to start sharing my thoughts and experiences, things that I've learned, and hopefully they would help other people come to some realizations or something. But for my first video, I wanted to talk about what started me down my path of self-discovery and really kind of kicked off, I guess, my awakening. And that was my decision to leave school. I was in high school, looking at all the programs and pamphlets and listening to the presentations of all the universities coming and talking about what they can do for you, and I completely bought into it, and I went straight from high school to university without a break in between, and I was there for about a year before I was able to admit to myself how unhappy I really was. And it was so hard for me to admit that I was unhappy because I had attached my identity to these kind of measurable achievements that I had earned so far in life. I was sitting there thinking, who am I? Like, really, who am I? And the things that were coming to my head were, I'm a girl, my name's Ruby, I'm human, I live in Canada, and I go to university, and I go to this school, and I'm in this program, and I'm going to be a graphic designer. And I guess when I was listing these things and I kind of took a step back and looked at them, I thought, it doesn't add up to anything. Like, that still doesn't answer the question of who am I? And it wasn't until I left school and I had time to think and time to sit and time to, rather than being taught in a classroom setting about the outer world, I had time to sit and listen to what was going on in my inner world. And I think that's something that a lot of people today don't get a chance to do, because you're in school from the time you're 6 years old, 5 or 6, or I think it's 4, and all the way to the end of high school. And then high school ends and it's do or die, it's your life is over unless you go to school and sign yourself up for another 4 years of schooling. I remember during my year off, after I decided to leave school, I was working at La Senza in Yorkdale Mall in Toronto, and there was this, I think she was 16-year-old girl that I was working with, and we were all sitting around talking, and she was talking about the universities coming to her school and giving their presentations and, bringing people that you can go and talk to, and she was so excited about it. But she was talking about going into law school, which is 4 years, and then I think another 4 years, and if you want a master's, then it's another 2 years or something like that. That was what she was signing herself up for. At 16, turning 17, she was agreeing to spend the next 10 years of her life in school. And I had to stop her, and I had to be like, has anyone told you you're allowed to take a year off? Like, has anyone given you that option? Like, just like, I felt compelled to, put it out there, being like, it's an option. Your life won't be over. Like, you're so young, all of us that go straight from high school into school these days, you're so young. Like, we're never given that chance to breathe and that chance to learn who we are. And I see that, the implications of that in the personalities of the people that I meet, even that are the ones that are just graduating from school. They've been in school for 5 years. Now they have a bachelor's degree and a piece of paper that says they're worth something, and they have no idea who they are, and they're the same maturity level as a high school student, That's not everyone. I'm not trying to offend anyone, and I'm not trying to be mean in any way, but I'm trying to draw attention to the fact that a lot of people don't know who they are, and they haven't asked, or they haven't asked themselves the right questions. So I wanted to make this video to encourage people to ask themselves some different questions. You know, are you happy? Are you working towards your dream? What are your dreams? What do you want? Like, really, what do you want? Because I have spent so long thinking about that question of what do I want? What would make me happy? If I could create everything about my life, what would be the perfect life, and how can I make that happen, you know? These are the questions that we all need to focus on. These are the questions that will solve the world's problems. These are the questions that will bring you out of a funk. If you feel like your life is not going anywhere, if you feel like you're stuck in a rut, if you feel like your life's on hold, which is how I felt when I was in school. I felt like I wasn't actually living. I felt like I was waiting to start living at the, like, and living was a light at the end of the tunnel at the end of my bachelor's degree. So I made the choice to take a year off, but I never ended up going back. I decided that I would rather take the difficult path. I mean, if you have that piece of paper, yes, it's such a tool. Like, employers, they love to look at it, and they love to know that you've been instructed, but that's just one path. That's just one way that you can reach a goal. There's so many other ways that you can do it, and I would like to encourage people to not fear the less walked path. I would like to encourage everyone to just put yourself out there, because as soon as you open up to the world will open up to you back. And that's another thing that I came across in my year off. I rediscovered my intuition, which I didn't even know what that was when I had left school. You know, your intuition is that little voice inside your head that tells you when something is true, that tells you what's right and tells you what's wrong. Your intuition is your feelings, your emotions. You know, if you think about going somewhere and then suddenly you feel really tired, you know, maybe that's your intuition trying to tell you that you don't actually want to go there. And that's how I felt thinking about school, thinking about going to class. You know, I was that girl with my head down, passed out on the desk, drooling on myself because I physically could not keep myself awake while this person was talking, which was so rude, and I felt horrible. And so every day I was feeling horrible for doing what I wanted to do, which was sleep, but in class, which is the inappropriate place to do it. So if you can find your intuition, and if you can learn to listen to that inner voice, it will 100% of the time lead you to what truly makes you happy, which is different for everyone, which is another reason why you shouldn't be scared to carve your own path, because you are so unique and you are so special and you are so different from everyone else in the world that to try and make thousands of people take the exact same path to a single goal is a little bit unreasonable for those people to compare themselves, you know? So anyway, that was my first video. I hope you guys liked it. I would love it if you would ask me questions, comment away. I need videos for another idea, so I'll be reading those comments. But yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Perfect the art of being you. And I will see you in my next video. Okay, bye. My first video, what I wanted to talk about was one thing that really kicked off my journey of self-discovery, and that was my decision to leave school. Oh dear, my cat's about to a hairball. Let it out, buddy. You got it. It's okay. It's okay.